Hello children, welcome to Mother's Digital Gurukulam. In today's session, we'll discuss important formula from Electric Charges and Fields, Chapter 1, Class 12 Physics. So the first formula is Q equal to Ne, where Q and E represent charges whose value was 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb, and this is a constant. You people have to remember it. N is a pure integer. The second one, force experienced by two charges when they placed in vacuum. So F vacuum equal to K Q1 Q2 by R square. So again Q1 Q2 represent the charges. K represent electrostatic force constant whose value was 9 into 10 power 9 Newton meter square C power minus 2 per coulomb square. K can also be written as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Here, epsilon naught is the permittivity in free space, whose value is 8.85 into 10 power minus 12 Newton power minus 1 M power minus 2 C power plus 2. And you people have to remember these two constants. When the two charges placed in medium, the force experienced by them can be written as F medium equal to Q1 Q2 by 4 pi. Instead of epsilon naught, I'll put epsilon. Here epsilon represents the same permittivity in the particular medium into R square. We also know the relationship epsilon by epsilon naught equal to epsilon R, or it can be written as capital K. Children, make a note. Small k represent electrostatic force constant. Capital K represent dielectric constant. The other name for it is relative permittivity. So the relative permittivity is nothing but a relation between the permittivity in vacuum to permittivity in free space. So it can be represented as epsilon R or capital K. So from this formula, I can write my epsilon as epsilon R epsilon naught or K times of epsilon R. So here I'll rewrite this expression as Q1 Q2 by 4 pi. Instead of epsilon, I'll write K times of epsilon naught R square. So this is the formula to be used when you place the charges in medium. So if the charges are placed in vacuum, simply it is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. If it is placed in medium, it will be Q1 Q2 by 4 pi K, capital K, epsilon naught R square. This formula also can be written as F medium is nothing but F vacuum divided by capital K. Capital K is called as your dielectric constant. So force, always it will be mentioned in terms of Newton. The next formula, will move on to electric field related formula. Electric field equal to F by Q naught. And the unit for this is F is measured in Newton. Q naught. Q naught is test charge. It is measured in coulomb. So it can be written as Newton per coulomb. From second chapter, we know the relationship between electric field and voltage. Electric field is nothing but voltage developed across the distance. From this formula, I can write the SI unit as voltage measured will be measured in terms of volt and the distance will be in terms of meters. So it can be written as Vm per minus 1. According to the formula, we can choose the SI unit. The next formula, electric field, electric field I'm just writing in the short form as EF, electric field of a point charge. From the derivation we can write it as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. Again electric field unit is Newton per coulomb. This can also be written as K, small k, Q by R square. The next formula related to charge distribution density. So volume charge density, which is given as rho equal to dq by dv. Q is measured in coulomb, V is measured in meter cube. So SI units, coulomb m power minus 3. Seventh one, surface charge density, represented in terms of sigma, the amount of charges present in the surface area. SI units, coulomb per meter square, or C m power minus 2, C capital C. Your eighth formula, linear charge density, lambda equal to dq by dl. Again, q is mentioned in coulomb, L is in terms of meter, or C m power minus 1. The next formula, force exerted on a charge, test charge. We'll write Q naught due to continuous charge distribution is given as F vector equal to Q naught by 4 pi epsilon naught constant. I'm taking out from the integral. So dq by r square. Force is a vector, so we have to represent r cap, which is mentioned in Newton. The next formula, electric field due to continuous charge distribution. We already know that F divided by Q naught will give you electric field. So if you cancel this Q naught, it will become electric field. So electric field will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught integral dq by r square r cap. So electric field should be measured in terms of Newton per coulomb. Now we'll move on to the dipole related formula. Your dipole moment, so P equal to Q into 2A. Remember children, the dipole is minus Q2 plus Q. From the origin, here you have to measure it as A, and here you have to measure it as I. So the distance between the two charges will be 2A. So always remember the distance between dipole. So it is represented as 2A. Okay, so Q into 2A. Next formula, electric field due to dipole along the axial point is given as E axial equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2 PR by R square minus A square the whole square. If you put vector here, you have to put a P cap here. So many times in formula, we'll go with the magnitude. So I can write E axial equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2 PR by R square minus A square. For a short dipole, special case, for a short dipole, if R is much greater than A, the same formula can be rewritten as E axial equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2P by R cube. Electric field will be measured in terms of Newton per coulomb. 13.1. Electric field due to dipole along the equatorial point. So E will be given as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P by R square plus A square whole power 3 by 2 Newton per coulomb. Again, for short dipole, that is R is much greater than A. The above formula can be written as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P by R cube. The next formula, the torque experienced by the dipole is given as tau equal to Pe sin theta. Theta is the angle between your P and the E. The other problems we'll discuss in part 2. Subscribe the channel for more videos. Thank you. Have a nice day.